It was a treasure trove where humans could evolve and theoretically even reach immortality. No one would have thought that I would be able to kill a sacred blood, soul beast and obtain an extremely valuable treasure here. It was like I had a cheating artifact that turned on the killing frenzy. There were at least 3 dozen dead swift mantises on the ground. They were still bleeding, so they couldn't have been dead for long. Su Shaoxiao looked at everything in front of him in shock, unable to believe that this was something a person could do. $1,000 each if you want them. Just when I was contemplating what to do with these massive carcasses, the beer arrived at my door. Su Shaoxiao calculated that if he could ship these praying mantis corpses back, the price could be doubled or tripled. Immediately, he accepted all of them. 43 in total. I'll give you a discount and only charge 40,000. I didn't expect this ordinary-looking guy to be so wealthy that he could buy them all. Su Shaoxiao took out his wallet and pulled out a $100,000 bill.
Brother, I'll give you $50,000 for these mantises. The other $50,000 is a down payment on any goodies you might have in the future. Remember to look for me first.
Su Shaoxiao thought in his heart that the person in front of him could most likely hunt mutant creatures as well. If he could buy mutant creature meat from him, several $100 million would be nothing. I was pleased with the generosity of this gold beer, and he would be the ideal beer of the mutated creatures I produce from the black crystal.
Brother, my name is Su Shaoxiao, my real name. My room number in Steel Armor Shelter is 1046. What about you? What's your name and where do you live?
Su Ziqiao said, "Dollar, that's the only thing I care about. Prepare some money and I'll be in room 1046 once I have something." I put the money in my pocket, waved goodbye to Shaoxiao, and left Vestvent Valley.
Brother, I'll wait for you. You must come. Remember, the price is definitely not a problem.
Su Shaoxiao shouted at me while waving his hand. After I left the Valley of the West Wind, I caught another primal creature, a copper-toothed beast, as an experimental supply for the black crystal. I found a secluded place to take off my armor and led the copper-toothed beast into the city. Unluckily for me, I met Son of Heaven and his men, and at the God's Sanctuary, everyone knew that Son of Heaven was courting Xinjuan. Who stabbed Xinjuan in the back, naturally became his enemy. He was also one of the reasons why I was miserable. Son of Heaven kicked me to the ground. Everyone around me was laughing at me. My fists were clenched, and honestly, I didn't want to go head-to-head with him right now. I wasn't afraid to die, but what if I died? What about my mother and sister?
As freak, don't make trouble, or else I don't mind teaching you another lesson.
Heaven's men coldly warned me. I watched the gang leaving, fire burning in my eyes. I was sick of being laughed at by everyone. Stronger. I need to get stronger. Anger blazed in my chest, and I knew I was too weak to fight this gang alone. However, the Dark Crystal will be my greatest opportunity.
Son of Heaven, why don't you just kill that guy?
One of his men said coldly, with their power, they don't have to be responsible for killing me. Son of Heaven smiled and said,
Xinjuan is a stubborn girl. She doesn't like people interfering with her actions. Since she didn't kill Han Sen, I won't do that either. End of discussion. We must now reach Sunset Slope before other gangs. That sacred blood creature has to be ours.